Seconds. Alright, for sure. Alright, peace, bro. I hope that you are doing wonderful. I hope you had a nice, eventful holiday, etc. And yeah, bro, I'm excited to get into our first session together. Now, in this session, I'm kind of just going to give you an introduction into astrology, you know what I'm saying, through your birth chart, and allow you to, get your foot into the door of the world of astrology. Yeah, so, alright, for sure, let me put you on speaker real quick so you can be, alright, for sure. So, it's important to understand that when it comes to astrology, it's really at its fundamental core about the four elements, you know what I'm saying? It's about the four elements that spirit utilizes to express itself. So it's about fire, water, earth, and air. And so I feel rightfully so we should definitely start off, you know what I'm saying, by talking about your most prominent element, to which your most prominent element is the earth element. Now, earth is the element that deals with practicality, rationality, logic, and it also deals with groundedness. It deals with people that have an ability to utilize things like wealth, money, resources, and these are also the individuals that are like grounded, and they're like a rock, if that makes sense. And they're more anchored within their physical body than, let's say, an air sign or a fire sign or a water sign. These are people that know how to get into routine and patterns. They like not, I want to say like, but they know how, rather I should say, to think long term, and they have the capacity to sacrifice short term gratification for long term satisfaction. So far, like, is that making sense to you?
That makes perfect sense.
All right.
That's right. That's definitely on the head.
All right, for sure, bro. So it's important that you know this because you are just these energies. Like, there's no escaping it. But what astrology is gonna help you do is it's gonna help you gain greater clarity about the things you can do and like the things you should not try to do, because a lot of the times people are like fishes who are supposed to be in the sea swimming, but because of what they were guided towards, they're trying to climb a tree. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, so you have a stellium in the sign Capricorn, you know what I'm saying? So growing up, before getting into astrology, I'm pretty sure you've always identified as being an Aquarius, and that's hilarious to me because as you were talking and you were telling me about how different and how unique you are, and just how you never fit in, like I continuously like was thinking in my head, but I just never said it. I should have probably asked. I was like, is this guy an Aquarius? Because you kept telling me how you had all these unique experiences where you never fit in, and you always in a sense thought differently, and you just feel like you're very, very different. And when it comes to the sign Aquarius, this is the sign that deals with uniqueness and originality. These are also the signs that deal with rebellion. They have the tendency of rebelling against the norm. They don't really uphold, to tradition. They rather do the unconventional things. And Aquarius is also a sign that continuously strives for freedom and to break away from, the grasp or the hold that authority or institution may have onto them. Aquarius signs are also, signs that deal with having a desire to be a voice for those who may not be able to speak, or having a desire to be a voice for just humanity. They can be activists, freedom fighters, and all that good stuff. But yeah, for sure. Simultaneously though, when it comes to the energy of Aquarius, which is where your sun is. So real quick, I'm going to tell you about your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. And then we'll talk more about Aquarius. So in astrology, it's important that you understand, what I'm saying, like what your sun sign is, what your moon sign is, and what your ascendant is. essentially, these are the three energies that go on to create your character, like your avatar. And they help you gain awareness about your individual energies, like who you are as an individual, etc. And so, first things first, you being an Aquarius. Well, actually, let me start off with your ascendant and then I'll build up to your sun. So, your ascendant is in the sign Cancer. And with you having your ascendant in Cancer, this is where, like, your capacity to have emotion, an ability to have emotional experiences and emotional connections with others comes to play. I start off there because the thing with Aquarius is Aquarius can be very dry. They can be masters of detachment. They know how to cut someone off. They know how to ghost, people and all that good stuff. But for you, that energy is balanced with you having like that Cancer energy. Your ascendant being in Cancer. So it's kind of like you have this capacity when you need to cut someone off. But I feel like one of your detriments may be getting too attached with people, or before I go, hold on. That may not completely be the case because you also have a stellium in Capricorn, which is the opposite sign to Cancer. And Capricorn doesn't deal a lot with feely emotions and lovey-dovey energies, but it more so deals with practicality and, like, let's say, getting the bag and, like, doing anything by any means to ensure that you have, like, the bag, or you are in a position of status. Like, to an extent, the energy of Capricorn can be kind of cutthroat. They can be dry. Like the saying, like, I forget what the saying is, but I'll share another one. That, like, yeah, business is cutthroat, and that, like, typically in business you're swimming with sharks, and you can't mix friends with business. You can't mix emotions with business. These are all Capricorn things, and so Capricorns are really good at that. They really know how to put their emotions and feelings aside, and they know how to use things, and this isn't always negative, because sometimes you gotta know how to use the things in your environment to get ahead, and Capricorn is, alright, for sure, perfect. Capricorn, what I'm saying, is ruled by Saturn. Your sun is Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn as well. But the cool thing about Aquarius, which we'll get into, is it's also ruled by Uranus. You know what I'm saying? And Uranus is a very, very, like, occult, sacred planet. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that when it comes to Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, these are planets that are out of, like, the boundary line of Saturn. And the thing about Saturn is Saturn rules the physical world. It rules physical reality. It rules things like government, structure, and kind of being in a system where there are rules and laws, and you are forced to abide by those rules and laws. So these are all Saturnian things, so Saturn is like a lot of the, like, I don't know if you see my recent post. I made a post and I was just like, it was a meme. I didn't even make it. I shared it, and it asked, like, why is it that in all religions, the gods are the same? I mean, gods are different, but then Satan is a constant, and many would argue that Satan is the one who rules over these religions. Like the Abraham.
I was just thinking that as you were talking, that Satan runs the world, basically.
Basically, Satan runs the world, but it's like
he runs the world, but he doesn't control our soul unless we,
give it, sell it to him, right?
Right.
For sure. And so, yeah, that's all Capricorn. Well, not Capricorn energy, but it's all Saturn energy. And now, the interesting thing about it, bro, is, like, you have Aquarius, which is the light side of Saturn, and then you have Capricorn, which is like the dark side of Saturn. So Capricorn is more inclined towards being pulled into, like, I guess we'll say, the devil's playground by the devil's shiny things, you know what I'm saying? And it may want to satisfy its physical desires. And so the energy of Capricorn is more willing to, like, sacrifice certain things for fame and status and things like that. But Aquarius is not like so, because Aquarius is the light side of Saturn. And before I even talk about that, I bring up Saturn because, the word Satan, or the character Satan is a personification of the energy of Saturn. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. That makes a lot of sense because, as I was growing up, I wanted to be a famous rapper.
you
And
rap?
and it's funny.
That's awesome.
It's funny because the further I got into the music business,
Uh-huh.
the more I realized that like deep inside, that's
Mhm.
not who I want to be. Like I wanted it so bad, and I dedicated my life to it.
Uh-huh.
But then the closer I got, the more I just didn't want it because I didn't want to be part of that type of world. So it was like almost like
Like an internal.
I don't know if paradoxical is the word, but like it was just like I was getting pulled in two directions
Yeah.
because I wanted that fame and everything like growing up, but the older I got, it's like I changed. It was like I did a complete 180, and now I don't. Now I still kind of have that want for fame or whatever. Not fame so much, but just like I feel like my calling is to be a leader of people.
Of course.
And to do my duty as a human and enlighten people and all that. It's like so I want it for different reasons now, and I'd like to make a career out of it, but I do it for the love, to help people, and
Yes.
so I've had that war, but now like I don't want anything to do with that, making music and all that, because it's just there's no future for me in it because I don't want to sell my soul.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, 100%. It completely makes sense for sure. And with you having a stellium in the sign Capricorn, we'll get deeper and deeper and deeper into it, and as to like how you should direct that energy. But I just wanted to say, like, in general, with you having a stellium in the sign Capricorn, it is of importance that like you learn to find ways to put yourself in those like roles of status, that unfortunately when we look out into the world we only see like people that have sold their souls being there, you know what I'm saying? But because in general, that's just because I'll share this with you. I have my sun in the 10th house, which is the house of Capricorn. So I'm very much in that energy myself, you know what I'm saying, of wanting to rise to a certain status where I am a leader and where I have like wealth and fame and all that. And I myself have been approached so many times by just weird energies who wanted, let's say, to sign me on a contract or this and the third and the fourth, just for my work, my spiritual work in general even. And so many times I've had to like say no and like just reject that. But it's like, I don't know if you're into Kevin Gates. He's also an Aquarius like you.
I like Kevin Gates. I like what he has to say. I mean, I do the urine therapy too. He talks about stuff like that.
Hey, yeah, UT is UT is very powerful for sure.
I've been doing that for 20 months, and I do it every day. And I have it aged. I drink it aged. I put it in my coffee. I give my daughter, my little baby daughter, baths in it.
Yeah. Like,
I even give it to her, and she's an advanced baby.
Yeah, that stuff is crazy powerful. There was this one time, because I practice urine therapy, not like I used to, but there was this one time, like, my urine literally started talking to me, bro.
It does talk.
And it's light, you know what I'm saying? It's golden light. Yeah, I'm gonna post this on my Facebook. anyways, like, there's just certain things I don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the truth will come out when it's supposed to come out, I guess. But it's definitely becoming more and more mainstream. And I was gonna say this, most definitely, like you can kind of look at Kevin Gates' energy and kind of gain a better awareness of your energy as well. Not holistically, but okay, I'll tell you this. You and Kevin Gates have the same sun and the same moon. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Gates' moon is in Capricorn. So like, if you look into his background story, he came from such struggle and hardship. He was like incarcerated. He used to sell drugs, and he used to be very, 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 very ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like That
That's
moon,
my story.
right? That's what I'm saying, bro. So I'm like, kind of go look into Kevin Gates' energies and be like, damn, what the heck? But it's because you and him have the same placements. You know what I'm saying? The same moon and the same and yeah, the same moon and the same sun. And the thing about Kevin Gates is his past is very, because the moon deals with your past and the experiences that you've gone through, you know what I'm saying? And so the thing about Capricorn, which is where your moon is, so I think I should start off by talking about this. The moon is actually debilitated in the sign Capricorn. And what that means for you is that, okay, so the moon deals with motherly energy, familial energy in general. It deals with nurturing, love, and it also deals with like internal energies. But Capricorn is a sign that's so far away from like Cancer or the fourth house, which is the energy of home and love and caring. So people who get the moon in Capricorn, they typically tend to be people that were abandoned, you know, because Capricorn deals with abandonment energies, possibly abandoned. Yeah, bro. It is crazy, but it's astrology, my dude.
How is that possible? That's crazy.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. It's crazy, but it's
How is
astrology.
it possible that I was meant to be abandoned?
So,
Like,
bro.
I made the best out of it.
Yes, that's
Because now I'm an amazing dad now because of it.
exactly.
The
Exactly.
best dad I could have ever been.
Exactly. That's what it's about, you know what I'm saying? Making the best of the cards you were dealt. And in my astrological practice, I always like to remind people that there truly are no negatives. You know, like every single thing that we go through in life is meant to sculpt us and mold us into becoming better and greater characters. There's like a higher intelligence that's guiding us, you know, and it knows best and it knows better than we do. So it's very arrogant on our behalf when something comes into our lives and we're like, why is this happening to me? I should be going through this or that. Because it's like in reality, you're going through something that a higher intelligence has deemed you needing to go through. And it's like a blessing and it's love. And it's like giving it to you so you can grow and expand. And that
You
is
heard of the 3 A's?
possibly, can you share them with me?
So the first A is to acknowledge.
Okay.
The second A is to allow. So acknowledge, acknowledge your situation. Acknowledgement. And the second A is allow. The second A is appreciate. So first, and this works in every situation. So you acknowledge the situation, then you appreciate your situation, no matter what it is, and then the third A is to allow whatever needs to be done to happen, and to, you know what I mean, to not try to control it and just allow yourself to just take that situation and make the best out of it.
Yes.
So that's from Bashar.
Yeah. The channel entity, Bashar, or deity entity.
Which he says a lot that I don't trust, because once somebody starts like pushing the ball Earth and stuff, like I literally only trust people that a flat Earth isn't their deep. So that's like my basis, because if that's not where you're at, then you're not even close to where I'm at. I could learn from you still, but you're so far from where you need to be, because that's basically the foundation of basically what's made my life a million times better. Yeah, and understanding everything. So, and I feel like there's so many misinformation agents. That's what I look for. Do they think the Earth's a ball? Do they push herbs on everybody and talk about urine as a waste product? Because that's what a lot of those misinformation agents, they're doing. Even like Dr. Yaki, you know, he says a lot of good stuff and he's so smart, but he talks about urine as a waste product. And all the things he pushes, like his herbs and stuff, you can just use urine therapy for free. So he's selling a product, and when he could give it away for free.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, you can proceed.
Yeah. I like how you keep going back to urine therapy and you talk about urine therapy. One thing when I was really heavy into the practice, one thing I really liked was like the story with like Shiva, and I think it was Shiva and Shakti. I'm not sure if it was Shakti or another deity, but she asked him. She was like, "How do you remain so youthful and young and this and the third?" And he literally told her, he was like, "The secret is drinking my urine."
Right.
Bro. And
Right.
I was like, what the heck? That's insane. You know, there's a story out there. But anyways, like that. But I bet there's many stories out there. But all right, for sure, for sure. But yeah, so that's like your moon, bro. Your moon in Capricorn, you know. Which is not all, like, you have two sides of this equation. Because you have that ascendant in Cancer, which does enable you to have the capacity to nourish and take care of and love and all that good stuff. Like, people, if like you just had your moon in Capricorn, then this would have made you a person who may have been very reserved, very dried, and not completely having the capacity to love and take care of others at any capacity, because that, like, that's an energy that you're foreign to. Like, you've never really had that experience or anything like that
Right.
outside of you.
It doesn't resonate. Like if it doesn't resonate with you, like whatever. When I'm loving my kids,
Yeah.
It always starts. The foundational principle of my love for my kids always starts in my mind with understanding that I need to love my kids. So if that thought never crossed my mind, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh wow, that's
You
deep.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
know what's important. I recognize the importance of it.
For sure, for sure. Like, you personally understand the significance and importance of it. Like, so with you having your ascendant in Cancer, this energy, you know, it is definitely altered because you have all this Capricorn energy, but it does show that you have a capacity, like, to personally care for things. If it's something that's personal to you, then like you can care for it and you can care about it, but you may not. And I think this kind of plays out in
I'm gonna hit this one right on the head.
this kind of plays out on your energy of, like, right, what you were talking about earlier with like the urine therapy and the flat earth. It's like, if you're in my domain and you're on what I'm on, then I'm gonna care and I'm gonna give you a lending ear. But if you're doing this, the third or the fourth, and it's foreign to me, then I'm just gonna cut you off, and like there's no caring energy at all. So
I knew it. You were gonna nail it.
so for sure, bro.
Because I talk to my girl about that all the time. Like, how can I be so loving and so caring to my family, but then like random miscellaneous people, I can literally be as cold as ice. Not where I would do something cold. Like I wouldn't hurt them or anything. But I just like I see like, you know, people getting hurt and stuff. That doesn't faze me at all. Like I'm not like, oh, that poor person. Like I'm not sitting back thinking about like, you know, unless I care about you, I really could care less. You know, it's very it's like a polarity.
Mhm.
So that makes a lot of sense.
For sure, for sure. It is a polarity, bro. It's the polarity between your ascendant and your stellium in Capricorn, like your moon, your Mercury, your Jupiter, and all that good stuff. But okay, yeah. So I guess another thing I was just gonna talk about and share is, alright. So the moon, it deals with your comfort. You know what I'm saying, and it kind of signifies where you're most comfortable at. So in reality, you are like, with you having this moon in Capricorn, it just shows that when you're building something, you know, like not like even just in the mental plane, but something concrete that you can hold and that you can touch, that is where your comfort zone lies. In the sense that if you're climbing a ladder, or if you're going from point A to point B, in regards to like status, in regards to achieving goals, before I go forward though, are you, like, your chart says that you are an ambitious person and you want to do all these big great things, but I guess because, you know, with you having like that polarity, it can kind of alter that energy. So I guess I kind of just wanted to ask, you would consider yourself like an ambitious person, right, with big
Yes.
goals?
Yes.
For
I'm
sure.
extremely ambitious.
For sure. And so
And
that,
I do it secretly.
and
I'm
secretly.
secretly ambitious. Like all the, like I have like, you know, these people go around. They talk. You know, they wear these. Like right now, I have sneakers on with a hole in the toe. You know, but I'm fine financially. You would never know my financial status by looking at me. and I like it that way. I actually like people to think that I don't have anything at all.
Mhm.
And, you know what I mean? But I'm working on accumulating everything possible at the same time. So it's like, and a lot of people they like to boast, you know, and not that I wouldn't mind boasting. I just don't want anybody to know that I'm doing good. I want them to know I'm doing good, but I don't want them to know the details. You know, I'm
Yeah.
very secretive about like the details of, you know, I don't want people to see my bank account or like what I have in my investments or anything. I don't care to share that. There's people that I've known for years that have no idea.
Mhm.
You know, they think I'm struggling
Mhm.
because I am struggling because it's the only way I've learned how to succeed is through struggling. When I'm not struggling, I go into this state of mind where I'll spend money and I'm kind of free, like financially, like I'll buy this, I'll buy that. I could, you know, and I would just, water would flow. I mean, money would just flow like water. So I have to remain in this mindset where I have nothing. So anything I save, I put away and I'll never touch it.
Mhm.
And I'll live day to day off whatever I earn from my work. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and if I want something, I'll have to earn the money to buy it. I won't like dip into my savings to buy it. Because in the end, my ultimate goal is more to own property and own land. Like, I don't care about owning a nice car and a nice outfits and jewelry and all that stuff means nothing to me. That's just a waste of money, and it's kind of like in the way of my ultimate goals, which is to, you know, drop $400,000 on a piece of property
Mm.
for my family. You know, like that's what my goal is. Which aligns with what you were saying in the beginning,
Mhm.
to where I don't let things distract me really, and I just when I get my mind on something, I don't, you know, like stick with the goal. If I'm working on something, it's gonna be very hard for you to distract me from it. You
Yes,
know, if
for
I have my
sure.
mind set on something.
For sure, and that plays out in two ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have you have your sun in Aquarius, and then you have your Mars. You have your bro. Oh man. Okay. So you have your sun in Aquarius, and then you have your Mars in Scorpio. Now the thing is, your Mars and your Sun are squaring each other. So before we even talk about, because I was okay, the reason why I brought up your Sun and your Mars, it's because Aquarius is a fixed sign, right? Fixation. That's where that ability to fixate yourself on what it is that you want, and once you know what you want, you just go and get it, and that's what you're focused on. And it's like, unless that goal is fulfilled and completed, like there is no seeing outside of that. Like, air signs, they are very, very intangible. They like to entertain ideas and logic and accumulate information. Like, Aquarius specifically is all about the amassing of knowledge and information. Aquarius
Right.
rules databases, it rules the Akashic records, it rules libraries, and holistically it rules humanity. Like, everything in astrology is ruled by one sign or another. And when it comes to the human race, that race is ruled by humanity. You know, which kind of just shows and reveals that humans are not meant to be isolated. We are social creatures. We're meant to live in groups, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because Aquarius is a sign of groups. It's a sign of tribalism and all that. But anyways, yeah, so there is this definitely capacity of fixation. And I was going to say that although all the air signs like Libra and Gemini, they're intangible and they don't know about completely about responsibility, and they rather just do this and the third without a concreteness, or practical energy. Aquarius is the contrary. Aquarius is like the most practical of the air signs. And this is because they're ruled by Saturn, which is a planet that deals with earth element energies. So that's one, you know, your fixation abilities through your sun in Aquarius, the ability to focus. But I also tell you this, unfortunately, when the sun goes into Aquarius, it can be considered in detriment or in its fall, because the sun is the individual, and it deals with the willpower and doing things for yourself, and doing things for yourself, and like putting yourself first, like being comfortable with getting attention for your accolades. Whereas Aquarius doesn't really care that much about getting attention for its accomplishments and being recognized and being like gratified or whatever. And Aquarius is also
that makes a lot of sense.
for sure. Aquariuses are willing to do things. And it's not your Aquarius that has you wanting to do things in the background. That's more like your Mars and Scorpio, which we'll get into. But Aquarius, they're more willing to do things for selfless reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of your greatest motivations is like hustling and grinding and making money so then you can buy land for your family. And that's not only Aquarius energy, that's also like your ascendant in Cancer. You know what I'm saying? So with your ascendant in Cancer, it's like putting your family first and creating those family ties. You know what I'm saying? Like being loyal to your wife and all of those things in the long run are gonna be what's gonna build your internal like personal fulfillment. Like that's how you're gonna personally be fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be found outside of the house. But it's going to be found in the house. But of course, you're going to go outside of the house and you're going to hustle and grind and get the status and recognition. But it's all going to go back into the family and the home life and all that good stuff. But yeah.
Right. And another thing you said that makes a lot of sense is that you were saying that, what were you saying? In the beginning, you were saying that let's see, something about my mindset. Not being distracted. I had it a second ago, but basically, it was something. I'll have to remember it again. You said it like in the beginning of the conversation. You said it about how something about how I get my mindset on things. I don't let things distract me. Like that I'm hard to be. Basically, that I'm hard to be knocked off.
Mm-hmm.
My ladder, basically.
Basically, yeah,
like,
yeah.
That I'm difficult to distract. I get distracted in the things that I'm interested in. I get engulfed in them. And I am a library of information. Like I want to learn as much as I can possibly learn. Mm-hmm. There's like no limits to it, and like I have a thirst for knowledge, which is insane. People think I'm wasting my time, but I'm like, I'm not. How am I wasting my time? The knowledge that I've gained has helped me in my everyday life.
Facts. Man, that's crazy. I can definitely relate with that. I remember having my father telling me like philosophy and all of that. That's just gonna stress you out, give you gray hairs. Like there's no practical application to it in life, but that is like not true. It's definitely a big.
When I learn something mind blowing, it's like I get so excited. Like I love it.
Exactly.
My mind has been blown so many times on such like incredible levels that it's like that's an experience that so many people will never have. Like to be able to even understand what the hell I'm even thinking. So some of my really strong, very strong characteristics. Basically, some of my qualities, my really good qualities, are my discernment and my articulation. So I'm able to discern, but I'm also able to articulate. So I'm able to take it and put it into words. And a lot of like light workers, they speak in a way that the average person doesn't know what the heck they're talking about. Mm-hmm. So I know how to go to different levels and speak directly to the person I'm speaking to make sure that they understand me. Like I've realized that a lot of light workers, they kind of lack that. They kind of just, I don't know if they're just trying to sound smart, but then again, some people think that I'm talking to them like they're stupid, but I'm just really just making sure they understand me.
Yeah, completely understandable. Like I think it was Albert Einstein who said this. I don't know who said this, but they were saying that when you, I can't really repeat it word to word because I forget. But he said, yeah, he says like, if you know something, like if you truly understand it and know it for yourself, then you can put it in the most simplest terms, in the most simplest way. But it's like
Right.
people that don't truly understand it and don't know it, those are the ones who feel like they should make it sound all complicated and complex. You
Right.
know what I'm
Like
saying? To
almost
make
like they're regurgitating definitions, and that was Einstein.
oh, okay, it was Einstein, alright, for sure.
But yes, they're regurgitating definitions because they don't know how to weave their words in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I speak in my own way. Like I absorb information. It comes in one way and it comes out however it needs to come out. It doesn't. I can say the same thing to 10 different people and it will come out 10 different ways. However, they need to hear it to understand it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not into, like, regurgitating is, I don't like to regurgitate because I speak based on my understanding.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that
So,
that definitely makes sense, you know, and I feel like that also definitely very much synchronizes with the Aquarius energy in the sense that Aquarius deals with uniqueness and originality, but also deals with inspiration, you know, and so from the sounds of it, it's like you'll gain information and knowledge, but you'll allow it to inspire you to, in a sense, yeah, you'll allow it to inspire you, or yeah, add energies onto you, but you won't regurgitate it. It'll be a new inspiration that came from that book or that source for sure. So yeah, you know, as an Aquarius, like one thing for sure that's of importance is the amassing and the accumulation of knowledge. You know, you definitely should um, invest in that and learn as much as you possibly can about yeah, like occult, because Aquarius is one of the signs that deals with occult sciences. It deals with yeah, occult. I was gonna say yeah, mysticism, spirituality, you know, and all that good stuff. So real quick, on the foundation, the base, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, and being ruled by Saturn, it kind of goes to the trials of Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of, you know, trial and tribulation. It'll put you through things. I like to say, bury you underneath like 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? And as these things are happening, you know, you as the experiencer may feel like you're being punished, but it's like Saturn knows better, and it knows you're a seed, and that's why it's burying you and it's putting you through all of these different things. It's
right.
like
So
go ahead.
I just had a little download.
For sure.
So, basically, it like almost like, you know how, like, let's say your wife would send a girl to try to hook up with you to see if she can trust you.
Uh,
God could be using the devil in that type of way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like they could be working together. It could be like a test of faith. It could be a test of, you know, of will. You know, like I can't just make it easy on you. It can't just be easy. It has to be hard. If it's not hard, then I don't know for sure where you really stand. You know, so that kind of makes sense. Like that's basically the thought that I just had. But
For sure. Exactly, 100%. Saturn deals with the saying "no pain, no gain" is definitely Saturnian. You know, that came from Saturn. The saying "if it comes easy, it'll go easy." You know, Saturnian. Because you know, in contrast, that saying it's like things worth having don't come easy. Things worth having typically take time. And you know, Saturn is like the father of time and all that good stuff. So beyond Saturn, when we get into Uranus, we are no longer dealing with time. Like Uranus is the father over Saturn. You know what I'm saying? So it's like beyond time and all that good stuff. And that's the second once, because as you go through life and you evolve, your astrological rulerships also change and you synchronize according to your frequency to a whole new ruler. And so on that lower level, you know, of Saturn, as Aquarius is evolving, it's going through experiences where it's like hardships and trials and tribulations. And it's learning to be crystallized essentially through the experiences of hardship and struggle. It's becoming more concrete and more like practical. It's like one thing to read something in a book and then it's a whole other thing to go out and experience it. And usually when we're experiencing something, we go through trial and tribulation, trial and error, you know. And as we go through the trials and error, we eventually become masters at our crafts, which you know, Saturn deals with. Saturn deals with craftsmanship and the mastering of your craft. But in general, Saturn deals with labor, you know, and working and grinding and hustling and willing to sacrifice and all that good stuff. So that's like the first foundation that Aquarius finds itself in. And then once it evolves, it goes under the foundation of Uranus, you know, and this is where Aquarius becomes a lot more isolated, because while Aquarius is ruled under Saturn, it is willing to entertain the lower vibrations of this world. It's somewhat of this world, and it's willing to interact with certain people that may be, you know, suspect, I guess we'll say, for lack of a better term, and just be very material and very earthly. But then once it evolves in consciousness and awareness, it starts to oppose a lot of the things it previously was into, and now it starts to become like a unicorn, or like just very unique and different. And so being unique and different, like the system kind of makes people it's kind of like the Matrix movie, right, where it's like Neo was it was once he started waking up, all these agents started to come, and it's like his closest like friend, like his neighbor, I think it was, and just like random people were turning into agents and trying to attack him. I feel like that's what happens when Aquarius goes into that space where it gets ruled by Uranus, because now it's like you're in a space where you're tapping more into that Christ consciousness energy, and you're becoming more of an individual rather than a person who was okay with conformity and kind of conforming, which I think to an extent Aquarius never truly is a conformist. They kind of go through what they go through in the early age because they have to get it how they live type energy.
Right. Well, they can fit in, but it never becomes like who they really are.
Yeah, exactly. So under Uranus, you know, these are the ones who desire to want to help people change and evolve. But it's like as they're doing it, they typically start to cause all of this like drama, like, because instantaneous change, like anything that's unconventional and untraditional, is going to be attacked, and it's going to be met with fear, because it's like, why are you trying to bring instability into my life? Like what I have, even if you're telling me it's not working, it is working for me, and it's stable and it's safe and it's secure, right? Which is what Saturn brings and what Saturn provides. But Uranus is like, nah, forget that. Like I would rather just be like a free nomad in a sense and just express myself and be a channel for a higher power and a higher source to come through me. And so this is where the energy of Aquarius becomes more orientated towards like inventiveness and original energies, and they're more like you were saying earlier, they're more into that space where they're receiving downloads, and they're more like trying to bring heaven on earth or just higher energies into this physical plane. But then once that is also accomplished, they go into the space where they get ruled under Jupiter, and this is like evolutionary or esoteric astrology, and this is where they kind of become the gurus or like the mystics who in a sense have walked the path and are now in a place where they can render and give other people knowledge and wisdom. And this is also kind of like the energy of Capricorn, because Capricorn is the mountain goat who needs to climb the mountain. And if like you ever looked at a mountain goat, you'll notice they climb in ways that are so like mind-boggling. Like how did that thing do that? But it's because like, you know, they like I was saying earlier, Capricorn is all about utility and knowing how to use whatever they have.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what you said.
Oh.
That's what I was trying to think of. So,
okay.
I used to call myself the ultimate middleman because I literally knew how to knew how to utilize all the resources I had and maximize them. If you were in my life and I could take you and use you to boost, I'd boost both of us. But I'd basically like, all right, I have to make this connection. Oh, this person needs to link with this person because they can do this and blah blah blah.
For sure.
I was really good. I've always been really good at facilitating people and putting them in the right place. to help them maximize and to also personally benefit at the same time.
Wow, for sure. Okay, it definitely makes sense. And that's like the mixing of both the Capricorn and the Aquarius energy. Aquarius, like I was saying previously, is a sign that deals with humanity and people and groups. So most definitely, that's one of the places where you can shine is in working with people. But I also say this, like you have Aquarius, your sun in Aquarius in the 7th house. And so with you having your sun in Aquarius in the 7th house, it's an indication that like you are meant to work with groups of people, which is reflected with by not with but by the Aquarius energy. But you're meant to make personal relationships with these people. So it's like, I'm not saying have many personal relationships with many different people, but it's kind of like what you were saying earlier about kind of having an ability to be cold and like just not care if it's a stranger. And so I guess what I'm trying to say here is, it's like in your words what you said earlier about having the ability of knowing and seeing how like these people can interact with each other, and then kind of getting them together but simultaneously also personally benefiting from it, but also helping them benefit as well. So it's like knowing your network and knowing like what person you can create personal relationships with for the sake of you both benefiting, but also for the sake of like the collective and the group benefiting. So I what I'm saying here is that like Aquarius naturally and typically rules with those relationships where there are no personal ties or connections. It's kind of just like, oh, we're acquaintances, or like, oh, I see you every like blue moon. Like I don't really know you like that for real, for real. And like you have those acquaintances as well for sure. But it's also important that when you see like an acquaintance that you feel like you can benefit from, that you make like a personal dynamic and a personal connection with them. You know what I'm saying? And of course for the sake of like business, and for the sake of yeah, like you said earlier, the collective evolution of the two or the three of you for sure. But in general, I'll wrap it up by saying, wrap this part up, right? This what I was saying by saying that like it's important that you are in a space where you do work with people. You know what I'm saying? And you network and you connect with other persons and all that good stuff.
Right.
For sure.
But that makes a lot of sense, because some people would be like, if I'm selling cell phones, I'll sell you a cell phone, and that's it. But if I'm doing like light work and I'm helping you grow, I'm gonna start you at the bottom step, and then you're gonna come back for more. But if I plant the seed, it harvests. It actually you resonate with it, and then you're gonna wanna elevate, and then eventually, hopefully, you can get to the point where you can help me elevate also, because I love people that I can learn from as much as I love people that I can teach that are willing to learn,
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense about like, working with groups and having to build personal dynamics,
For
because
sure.
you have to understand the people, and like that, doing that type of work, you have to understand the person that you're dealing with.
For sure.
It's not like just you're selling them a cell phone and now they've got a phone. They're not calling you to do a nominal task like fix the screen. Like the task would be to say, all right, you've been drinking your own urine every morning for the last 3 months. You're feeling good, but it's time to upgrade. Are you saving some? You're gonna have to incorporate aged urine. You know what I mean? Like and also, there's a thing called a basti, where you do like 60 cc's in the rectum, and you can start sniffing it. You can start washing your hair with it. You can start, doing your laundry in it. Like there's, but I'm not gonna start the conversation by having them like, all right, so you're gonna be doing eye drops, ear drops. You'll be snorting it. You're gonna be drinking it. You're gonna be aging it. Like that's gonna be overwhelming.
For sure.
So I definitely like, like the people, like my mom's actually been good, because she's the one person that's actually like done it and gone through with it, and I've been helping her grow and continue on and like upgrading her knowledge so she can do more things.
Mm-hmm.
Like now she knows to put it in her coffee, like that it alchemizes whatever it comes in contact with. Like little things like that.
Yeah, definitely alchemy for sure. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, your sun being in the 7th house, I think I should also talk about the fact that, see, the sun, whatever it touches or wherever it's at, it vitalizes things. You know what I'm saying? So the sun is vitalizing the energy of Aquarius, which is the energy. So I'll tell you about the key phrase of Aquarius, right? The key phrase of Aquarius is I know, and it rules knowledge in general. So it's like the more I know energy you can accumulate, the more you're correctly utilizing your sun to the fullest capacity, your solar plexus, however you want to call it.
And as opposed to I believe.
So Pisces, which is the sign following Aquarius, is the sign that deals with belief and believe in things. You know what I'm saying? And I also say this: we all have the 12 signs within our birth chart, every single one of us. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, when it comes to the energies that we should work with and we should hone our skills onto, that deals with the signs that are like the signs that have planets in them, like, and for you that's Aquarius and Capricorn and Cancer. So Cancer is I feel, you know what I'm saying? Its key phrase is I feel. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, these 3 signs are connected. So you have Scorpio in your chart very prominently, very prominent in your chart, but you also have Cancer in your chart, and it's prominent as well because you have your ascendant in Cancer. So the key phrases I feel are going to be something that are of importance to you, like your feelings and what you feel to be true or what not to be true, which I feel to an extent is kind of like belief. And also I desire, like what do you desire? So I feel like these are 2 energies that do somewhat acquaint and can, reach the energy of belief. But I would say, yeah, not completely as opposed to believing, but when I was speaking upon Aquarius, just in general, like amassing and having more knowledge in the I know energy is very important.
Right.
And
I know that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and
I saw a thing recently that was really good. So, sometimes a teacher, sometimes a teacher always is a student. I forgot the first one, but teacher, student. Yeah, so basically, yeah, like sometimes a teacher, always a student. You know what I mean? Oh, never an expert. Sometimes a teacher, always a student.
Yes. Never an expert, sometimes a teacher, always a student. Yeah, no, that's definitely very, very true, for sure. And so, the phrase I know, like, because, the saying is, he who thinks he knows it all truly knows nothing, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I think I should bring more information and more detail into this.
Yeah, I'm good.
In the sense that, like, certain things to be true and concrete. Like, that urine therapy is the truth. You also know that the earth is not round. These are knowings and these are understandings that you hold on to, but, like, you just know it. Like, your core, right, that this is the truth. So...
Right. Right. It's not something I was taught and that I believe.
Exactly. Exactly.
I know.
For sure. Like, you just know. You know what I'm saying? That's very Aquarian energy. And it's important.
I know when I know.
Mm-hmm. It's important to also know that Aquarius deals with the channeling of information, so opening yourself up to be more receptive to the Akashic records and, receiving knowledge from that lens and plane also. So that's Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? Getting more into...
That's one of my goals.
For sure. Getting more into unconventional energies, untraditional energies, not being afraid of being perceived by the world as weird or this and the third, embracing that weird energy, I guess, for sure.
I love it.
And also the seventh house is the house of personal relationships. So it's very, very, very important that you make your personal relationships a primary focus and an objective in your life. I feel like one thing that can kind of play out in this energy here is not being able to see yourself outside, like not being able to have an identity outside of relationships, or and tell me if you resonate with this or not. Not having ability to see yourself outside of a relationship, like kind of feel like you need a relationship to truly know who and what you are, but simultaneously possibly needing like a group of people to know who and what you are. And this doesn't even have to be physically. It can just be like identifying, let's say maybe with the group of like the flat earthers or this and the third and the fourth. But yeah, I said that, but now I kind of want to ask, like, if this is something that resonates with you, if it makes sense, or if you're like, nah, not really.
Yeah, well, I have to. I like being, I like being part of like a group.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something I believe in.
Of course.
And it's not just to be part of a group. Like some people would want to be part of a group to say they're part of something, but I'd want to be part of something, that, I can be an asset to. I have a desire to be an asset.
Of course, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And I want people to use me to benefit themselves, in ways like I want them to have a conversation with me and learn things and then go, holy shit, and talk to somebody else and say, dude, I talked to this Stacks and that dude blew my mind, which happens sometimes, but then there's other people that just think I'm crazy and they just kind of yes me to death.
Yeah.
But that just tells me that they're not resonating on my frequency, so.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I have to understand that because I'm different, so many people are not going to have a clue what the hell I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I do feel like I need to be in a relationship. Like when I'm not in a relationship, I'm seeking a relationship.
Right, for sure.
But at the same time, the weirdest part of it all is I love being alone.
It's a
It's
a contradiction, bro. And it does make sense for sure. Because Aquarius, these are
not alone, single, but I like spending time alone
in isolation. Yeah.
I need my alone time. I need it. I don't meditate enough, but I need to meditate more. I have a baby that's almost 7 months old, and since that baby was born, I had so much work that I've haven't been able to meditate really at all. Because it's like I'm constantly having to take care of her, and then when I do have time off, it's like there's so many things I need to do because I haven't had any time. Mm-hmm. It's like I need to learn how to make time to meditate, and I used to meditate myself to sleep, and now I don't even do that anymore. I just fall asleep. So but yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I completely that's also in your chart. You're having the 7th house in Aquarius. The sun in the 7th house does signify. Damn, does signify the importance of relationships. You know what I'm saying? It most definitely does, and that is because the sun is the center. You know what I'm saying? So a relationship can be something that you center your energy around for sure, but simultaneously, because Aquarius, a lot of my friends who are Aquariuses, they tend to find themselves in isolation and alone. And I've noticed it's primarily because the world doesn't really understand them like that. So it's like they need to have that alone time where they can connect with themselves, which is really like a higher force or a higher power, and tune in and tap into that space. But simultaneously, I feel like it's also your ascendant in Cancer, you know what I'm saying, which is a sign. Cancer belongs to the first emanation, meaning it deals with inner world energies, and it deals with the feelings and the emotions. So I feel like that's also another space where isolation may be important, like kind of going into that space where you can kind of touch bases with yourself and kind of be like, where am I emotionally right now? Like, how am I feeling? Like, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Like, kind of gaining that emotional stability, because the thing about Cancer is it's ruled by the moon. And when you look at the moon, you notice that the moon goes through cycles. You know, it waxes and it wanes. It waxes and it wanes. So I feel like the isolation period can also help you understand which moon phase you're on, or which phase you're in your life also, which I think is also important. And you can also probably most likely be very empathic. You know, Capricorn, it probably helps you not be super empathic and dry, but I think you can pick up on other emotions and feelings as well, which for sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely an empath.
Alright, for sure. Well, yeah.
Which is weird because I've gone through so much trauma that I'm able to cut it off.
Yeah.
At times, but sometimes I'm not. But I am like I'm like I said.
It's a duality.
Like my family that I care about. I'm empathic as it gets. You know, like I treat my daughter in a way that I treat her because I know how she feels. You know what I mean? Like I feel how she feels, so because I can feel how she feels, I know how to give her what she needs. Even if it's something small, like to just let her know how much I care about her. Just I don't need to. I always tell her how much I care about her and how I think about her when she's not around, and I can't wait to see her again. And like she means so much to me, and my whole life is all about making sure she's happy, and that's all I care about. Blah blah blah. Like I don't want her to ever have one moment where she feels like she's not cared about. Because I had a whole life like that. So.
Exactly, for sure. That makes sense.
Right. And your friends that are like, they said they're Aquarius, they shouldn't look for people that are like them. They should look for people that are like-minded. But it's okay, like maybe they're being too critical of who they go around. Like someone doesn't have to be like them. You want to be like-minded. A lot of times the best relationships is because people are so different.
That's true.
They bring different things to the table. You don't want to, a relationship where two people are the same person usually won't even work. So they might be looking for the wrong thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think she definitely is. She definitely is. Yeah, well, bro, so our hour has definitely come to pass, you know what I'm saying? This concludes our first session. We still have a lot more to cover. Are you into diving deeper with me?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Alright, for sure.
Even if we did something like once every month, just to, have time to think about things and try to like apply them and think, and then every month we should reconnect and make sure that, and then we can build on that, and if we need to do a quicker one, we'll do a quicker one.
Yeah, typically they'll all be hours, but yeah, if we need to do a quicker one, we can definitely synchronize and line that as well.
Not quicker as in an hour, but quicker as in like let's have a chat. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So I think we should do it every 2 weeks rather than every month.
Right, in the beginning at least.
For sure. But yeah, honestly though, if you feel like why I feel like we should do it every 2 weeks rather than a month, it's because I feel like the information of astrology, it should be used all together synchronistically, and then once you have all of the knowledge, then you can take off more
right.
So.
No, that makes sense.
Right,
so
sure.
So let's link up in a couple weeks and we'll do that again, and and I can afford it. So
of course, bro, and then that's definitely important as well. I don't want to break your bank or anything like that.
Yeah, no. I like I said, you should. You're doing my chart. You should know that I understand this.
Of course, bro. And yeah, so I've recorded it for you. I'm definitely going to upload it and then send it to you. Yeah, for sure. So I do this thing where like and this is if you're comfortable with it. If you're not, then I won't do it. But I like to upload my readings on like my social medias just for other people to kind of tap in and.
Yeah, I think that I'd have no problem with you doing that. I just wouldn't want to be tagged in it.
Oh, I don't
So
tag
personal.
people. Yeah, I don't tag people. I don't tag people. Period. Not at all. Like, nah, I'm not gonna tag you
Right, but
unless
definitely,
you're
yeah,
like
definitely
tagging
want you
me.
to use it.
All
I
right.
want you to use it. I just, and not because, because it's kind of personal to me, and
It's
I don't really like to share personally like that.
for sure. So I'll keep
Not
you
so
100% anonymous. 100% anonymous. I got you. But all right, bro.
If somebody asked, if somebody, somebody was like, wants, like if somebody, let's say, was getting into urine therapy and they heard our talk and wanted to talk to me or whatever, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with like talking to people and all that. I don't care about like you don't have to be like, oh, I can't tell you, or
Yeah, I'll tell them
that.
like behind scenes, right? Like in the inbox or something.
Yeah, like I can link. Yeah, I'm definitely like would be available to, help somebody or work with somebody or.
All right, for sure, for sure. I'll definitely send.
I'm pretty easygoing.
I got you, bro. Well, yeah. You definitely enjoy the rest of your day. It's been so nice doing this first session with you.
And I appreciate it.
100%. 100%. You're very welcome, bro. And yeah, stay tuned, and I'll definitely send it to you as soon as it's uploaded. All right.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Peace. Peace.
All right.